Page 43 at the top. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim. V'shamru, page 44. V'shamru, v'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, l'asor, et ha-Shabbat, v'nor t'oferit olam. V'shamru, v'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, l'asor, et ha-Shabbat, v'nor t'oferit olam. B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru, b'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, l'asor, et ha-Shabbat, v'nor t'oferit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'shamru, b'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, l'asor, et ha-Shabbat, v'nor t'oferit olam. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash. V'shamru, b'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, l'asor, et ha-Shabbat, v'nor t'oferit olam. V'shamru, b'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, l'asor, et ha-Shabbat, v'nor t'oferit olam. We now continue on page 46 as we rise as able for tefillah.
Adonai sefatayv ufila gitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zoher HaSe'avot V'imot, U'mehi Gula L'nei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Shene Afar, Mikamoha, Bavurot, Umido Ela, Melech Mani, Umechayeh,
Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemonata lahayotako, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shem hakadosh, v'kadoshim b'hoyam yalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Let's continue together on the bottom of page 54. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel who sanctifies your name may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Bottom of page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'ava. Top of page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. We continue now with our prayer for peace. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, Israel, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Israel, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon, v'kol hashalom. Shalom
Please take a few moments now for your own private meditation. Please pray silently.
Say shalom bimroma. Booyah, say shalom aleichem. Ve'al Israel. Ve'al Yoshvei Shalom aleichem, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimru amen.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep.
At this point in our service, let's take a pause and think about the people who are in need of a prayer this Shabbat, those who are going through health scares, those whose lives are just hard. And so we lift up these names: John Deacons, Debbie Simon, Emily Diamond, Judith Levy, Monroe Zephyr, Aaron Kugler, Wanda Berkowitz, Karen Ellis, Margot Seckler, Philip Richardson, Iris Rockman, Shmuel Rosenzweig, Mitchell Shermer, Martin Pearson, Sylvia Garcia, Wendy Long, Bill Ellis, Lisa V. Meyer. And if you have any names you want to add to our list, please, as we go around the room, call them out.
The people of Lahaina, Joe Bima, and Tyler. Alan Kemp, Isma.
Angie Hayes, Helen Steele.
Let's turn now to page 253 for our prayer for healing.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the goal.
Blessed One, bring healing to all those that we've named. May God find us in these days of Elul and give us direction on our path of life so that our page in the book of life will be renewed in the coming year. Amen. So a man was called to the beach to paint a boat. He brought his paint and his brushes, and he began to paint the boat a bright, shiny, new shade of red, as he was hired to do. And as he painted the boat, he noticed that the paint was seeping through the bottom of the boat. And he realized that there was a leak in the boat. So what did he do? He decided to mend it. When the painting was done, he collected his money for the job and he went away. The following day, the owner of the boat came to the painter, presented him with a much larger check than the day before. The painter was surprised. "You already paid me for painting the boat," he said. "But this is not for the paint job. It's for mending the hole in the boat." "That was so small a thing," the painter said, "that I didn't even want to charge you for it. Surely you're not paying me this huge amount for that little bitty leak." "My dear friend, you do not understand. Let me tell you what happened. When I asked you to paint the boat, I had forgotten to mention to you about the leak. When the boat was nice and dry, my children took the boat and went fishing. When I found out that they had gone out in the boat, I was frantic, for I remembered that the boat had a leak. Imagine my relief and happiness when I saw them coming back safe and sound. I examined the boat and saw that you had indeed repaired the leak. Now you see what you've done? You saved the lives of my children. I haven't enough money to repay you for your little good deed." A new month begins today, the Hebrew month of Elul. Traditionally, Elul is the time when we prepare ourselves for the Aseret Yamei Teshuvah, the 10 days of return that begin on Rosh Hashanah and end on Yom Kippur. The month of Elul lasts 29 days, so in 4 weeks' time, it will exactly be Rosh Hashanah. Literally, the Rosh, the head of the Shana, the year. Rosh Hashanah marks a turning point. And so, apart from proclaiming a new year, the shofar, you heard it earlier, the ram's horn, which I sounded tonight, calls us to reflect on our actions, turn our lives around, return to one another and to our truest selves and to God. So Elul, the month when the work of repair begins, or rather, we prepare to make the journey of repair, like the names of the other months of the Hebrew calendar that were derived from our people's exile in Babylonia. The word Elul is Babylonian. It originated in the Akkadian word for harvest, Elulu, and first appears in the Tanakh, in the Hebrew Bible. Where? In the book of Nehemiah, as some would say. which relates the return of Nehemiah to Jerusalem 40 years after the Babylonian exile to oversee the work of repair, rebuilding the temple. Shai Agnon, a great Jewish author, in his marvelous anthology called Days of Awe, he tells the story. A tale is told of one who sat in the study before the tzaddik, the wise teacher, Rabbi Mordechai of Nadvorona. And before Rosh Hashanah came permission to be dismissed. The tzaddik said to him, "Why are you hurrying?" Said he to him, "I'm a reader, and I must look into the festival prayer book and put my prayers in order." Listen to this, those who have reading parts. Okay? "I must put my prayers in order." Said the tzaddik to him, "The prayer book's the same as it was last year. But it would be better for you, instead of looking at your part, to look at your deeds. Put yourself in order, not your prayer book." The tale reminds us of the purpose of the Aseret Yemei Teshuvah, the 10 days of return. Provides for us an opportunity to examine our deeds of the past year and resolve to restore our relationships. By the time Rosh Hashanah arrives, there's so little time to make things right. That's why much more important to start this process now. At the very beginning of Elul, you have an additional month. So it's time to do the work of Teshuvah, to return to the true path of our lives, to ourselves and to others, and to recognize our mistakes and the hurts we may have inflicted on others. So today begins this new month, but it's important that just knowing it's Elul doesn't bring renewal. It's up to us. We have to do the work to use this month for a sacred purpose. And unless we begin to renew our lives now, the gift of Elul will be empty. Let's go back to that first story, the man in the boat. Very often, doing what seems to be a small good deed, we never know what wonderful thing we may have really done. One good deed brings another in endless succession. Maybe that's where we start this season, one step at a time, one good deed. This week, in honor of Elul and anticipation of the coming year, 5784, do a good deed. Find a mitzvah. Help someone else. Open your eyes and arms and heart. Rabbi Abraham Karp gives us a sound perspective as we approach this new year, with the promise of correcting our wrongs and acquiring a second chance. Here's an adaptation of his message. Rosh Hashanah comes to us with a great gift, the opportunity to begin again. No one has sunk so low that he or she cannot rise up. The old year is going, the ledger is closing, our book of life is about to open to a new page. That page is bright with whiteness. No sins blot it, no indiscretions blemish it. Slowly, that invisible pen will begin to record our life. It will be given to us to direct the pen. If we've fallen into the habit of blots and smudges, it will be all the more difficult to write clear words and fine phrases. But we are invited to try and challenged to succeed. A great gift, a very great gift awaits us. The gift of beginning again. May we use it wisely and well, so that at next year's end, we may view the past year in the book of life with serenity and satisfaction. May it be so for all of us. Amen. Tony.
Shabbat Shalom to everybody, and to those in the TV land as well. Thank you. And welcome to our guests as well. Thank you for your participation. All right, here's some upcoming events that may be of interest to you. Please come join us this Saturday, tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. for hot dogs and Havdalah, New York style. Let the hot dog debates begin. We'll see. Carol Osterman is making black and white cookies, and Dora Lipper is making kugel. I don't think there'll be any debates over that. But the hot dogs, I don't know. We're looking for additional people to help out with our streaming services on Friday nights and some Saturdays. Teens are welcome. Please give us a call in the office if this is something you are interested in. Join Rabbi Lipper for a movie and discussion on Thursday, August 31st at 6 p.m. on the themes of the holy days. See the weekly shofar for all the details, or I may let you in on the secret if you come eat a hot dog with me. Join Hava hour every Thursday for Lunch and Learn Torah study from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. These are via Zoom, so please reach out to Hava for the link. Temple Sinai School, believe it or not, starting August the 27th.
Woohoo!
If you haven't already turned in your paperwork, please do so soon, like yesterday.
Or we'll come and hunt you down.
We'll hunt you down. And Temple Sinai is still having this shoe drive to raise money while providing shoes for those in need. Bring gently used, it says matching pairs of shoes. I'm in the banking business. We actually bank a company that goes rags to riches. So they take all the donations from those boxes from charities and they buy them from the charities. And believe it or not, when we visited, there were piles of shoes that were unmatched. And they said, shoes are important, and if you need shoes, you'll wear shoes even if they don't match versus walking barefoot. So, but we get more money if it's a matching pair, all right? So let's try to match them. There's the boxes located in the lobby. The shoes will be donated to developing countries. Join us for Kiddush and Motzai and fellowship following the service. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. So for those who are looking for High Holy Day information, if you don't have it, it's in the weekly email every week. There are links in the weekly email. If you are wanting to submit names for the memorial book, there is a form. Please fill it out and send it in with a contribution. Contributions are important. They help us do the work of the temple. So fill out that form, send in those names. Let's turn now in our prayer book to page 283, 283. Please rise as able for Aleinu. On the count of three, say, Yehi Or. 1, 2, 3. Yehi Or. How about that? It's magic. 283. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tech gedula yotzer breshit, shelahu yasam, shehu sam helkeinu liyached et shemo, וגאור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נטע שמיים ויוסר הארץ, מושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגלוי רומי. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו. כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום השבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. On page 289, selection number 2. In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love we are comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, light to shine into our hearts, spirits with abiding trust in you. Amen. At this sacred time, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race, every nation and faith whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. This week we mark the recent death of Shirley Erickson, mother of Ashley Gelder, mother-in-law of Glenn, and grandmother of Jacob and June. Her service will be this coming Sunday at 3 p.m. We also mark this week the yard sites. For Clifford Berger, grandfather of Debbie Simon, Edna Shevin, mother of Wendy Endelman, Joseph Ack, father of Josette Hart, Jerome Danberg, brother of Diane Statham, Jane Ann Kangany Humphreys, sister of Mark Kangany, Audrey Linhart, grandmother of Todd Malinek, William Seltzer, grandfather of Michael Seltzer, William Adler, husband of Joan Adler, and Frances Betty Moskowitz, the mother of Linda Katz. Are there any additional names for Kaddish this evening? For all of them, we say Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be a blessing. As together we turn to page 294 and rise as a community for Kaddish. Yit Gadol v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'olama divrach irutei v'amlech malchutei b'chayechon v'ilmechon v'v'chayei v'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv v'emaru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Nivarach le'olam olamei olamaya Yit barach v'yishtabach V'it pa'ar v'it romam v'it naseh v'it hadar v'it laleh v'it halal Shemei b'kudasha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran li'olama v'imaru Amen. Yehei shalom rabba min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'bromav Hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and bring comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And let us say, Amen. May be seated. Thank you again, Jim, for filling in tonight and being our musical director. So our service will conclude on page 353, 353, as we sing together, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu.
Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Shalom, shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al
Remember, do a good deed. It'll help you as the new year comes closer. All right? All good